Are you shitting me? I played all the way here with the sound turned off. Well, let's do that again. That was 10 minutes down the drain. I did it again. I forgot to hit record. Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to my third recording attempt of clearing the nest. Yes, you heard that correctly. I somehow managed to fuck up this recording twice. So, the first time, I was completely through. It has been a 10-minute episode at this point. I was at the exit, basically at the entrance to the Queen's Nest, right? And then I realized I still had my game and my mic muted. The entire recording. So that was great. I loved that. And then I sit down, right? I want to redo the recording. And I somehow managed to miss the record button and fuck it up again. So that was incredibly fun. At this point it's evening. That was like halfway through the day. At this point it's evening. That's why it's so dark. So I'm recording this now, which shouldn't really matter, honestly. But hey. So I can almost guarantee you that today we're going to make it through the nest because, as I said, I've already done this quite a few times, and both times we got through the entire nest within the 10-minute mark, so that's cool. Basically, the nest is an area where only the Metroids survive, because everything that's big enough to be perceived as a threat by a Metroid will just get chomped on. So either you're ridiculously small, which is why all these things are thriving here as well, or you're so big that you just die. There was an entrance to our left, but we're gonna skip that because that's also the path that you have to go in when you're done with the upper path, so we might as well do that one last. And I can already tell you one thing. Well, there goes the one super missile I'm allowed to miss. And I'm gonna have to use missiles. Congratulations, this is going very well. As long as we have super missiles, it should be fine, honestly. Except for this fight, because I completely fucked up everything about this fight. Nope. Go away. Stop. Okay, I'm just gonna stand here and kill you then. Or not, okay, cool. So usually it takes 7 super missiles to kill an Omega. Great. But I'm just not careful. The first fights, I actually didn't take any damage except once throughout all the fights in the first recording. Second one, I just kind of tanked one of them. And now we're starting off like that, so this is great. This is going amazing. These guys are honestly just here so you can farm super missiles, which I appreciate because you need the super missiles, honestly. Without the super missiles, you'd just be toast. Like, not... Well, you wouldn't be toast, honestly, they're not difficult, but you would sit here for like 20 minutes in just 3 Omega fights. What did it take us to beat the last one without super missiles? Like 4 minutes? 3.5? Yeah, now imagine that times 3 and... Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have to imagine it, it's like... This is going swimmingly. Amazing. I am great. Ooh! Hell yeah! You can really tell we're going to have a lot of success at the Metroid Queen fight. Oh, please turn around, thank you. This one is usually the most annoying one. Because for one, I almost always seem to miss my missiles on this fight. Please don't hit me. Okay. But for two, he always does exactly that. Thanks for demonstrating. Also, another thing you really gotta watch out for in these Omega fights. Please stop. I mean, it's the same with all the other fights, but the Omega fights are the only ones where it really matters. If you get knocked out of the screen, like if you change area, then the Omega gets a full heal. But you don't get your missiles back, obviously, so you don't want to do that. Unless you're really close to dying, then running away might be a strategy. Which I think I've done already in this one. Did I run away from a Metroid fight already? I think I did, yeah. But I can't remember, so... yeah. Point is, don't run away from Omegas, because otherwise they're gonna eat even more of your rockets, and they already eat enough of those. So here it goes down, but there's lava down there that won't go down until we kill the last Omega over here. Which is why we went into this area last. Boom. 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 Okay, so we hit 3. No, don't hit me. Oh, that was too close. Never do that again. You fat bastard. I do not want to see that ever again. Wow, that fight went amazingly well. I did not miss a single missile. I mean, we almost got knocked off screen for demonstration purposes, of course, but yeah, that fight went well. There's the queen being annoyed that we're killing more of her little Timmies. Fun fact, actually, when I went through this part the first time, like through the part with the bombs right there, I made a joke about how something I said before that sounded like I was re-recording this, right? Like I've already been here before. And then I said, no, I don't need to re-record this. So 6 minutes later, I realized, well, more like 3 minutes later, so a bit later, I realized that my recording was fucked up, and I had to re-record that. So I come here, second time around, right? And I say, last time I recorded this, I made a joke here about how I don't have to re-record it. But luckily, this time I'm recording. And then I look down, and I'm like, recording time 0 minutes, 0 seconds. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. You are totally not serious. Okay, here's a save room, which I feel like they placed here because they overestimated the difficulty of these Omega fights by quite a bit. And then again, it probably wasn't intended that you could just explode them like that. Probably. Maybe it was. Probably not though, because that doesn't seem like good boss design. This was, or is one of the most interesting, one of the most serene rooms, ironically, like right before the boss. Ooh, spicy! This was when I realized the first time around that I wasn't recording my audio and voice. Last time we were here, last time we were here, we were actually at 10 minutes, so we're like 1.5 minutes faster than last time. And the thing about this room is, if you drop into these pools, then right below the waterfalls, then you're going to drop down to the last area. So this actually has the potential to be an annoying room, but I've been here a few times, so yeah, that shouldn't happen to us. One thing I will say is I would have preferred if a different music played in this area, because it's still this like tense nest music, right? And then you're walking through this super calm waterfall area and you're like, why is this music here? Why isn't there something calmer or no music at all? But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. So we're just gonna go through here. This is a really nice room. I'm gonna assume there's like something over there to the left, but I never go there. Like, I always just jump up right in the middle to the tippity top, and then I jump into one of these. Now I just gotta find the one. There it is. I don't actually know what happens if you go down there in the room, but I honestly don't care much about it. So that area actually is the lab. Like, that was the Chozo lab where they originally created the Metroids, which is really cool. I like this area, but this one had a lot more of an effect on in Metroid 2, and when you were playing the game like alone, or not watching a gameplay commentary of a guy who already knows everything. Because that's really cool, because in Metroid 2 you could only have one beam at a time. I talked right through the cutscene, congratulations. In Metroid 2 you could only have one beam at a time, so that statue was your last chance of getting the ice beam back before you meet the Metroids. And then the game basically just went, ha! Sight, you're not getting your ice beam. But the ice beam was around, you just had to look around the statue instead of, like, picking it up from the statue directly. Oh. Oh, come on. There we go. That kind of looked cool, if you ignore being completely drained the first few seconds. But the kill itself kind of looked cool. So that was fun, but also I appreciate that in this game, and this game only, that's not a feature in any of the official Metroid games. When you freeze an enemy, he falls down, right? But when you freeze one of the fish, they float up. Which it's not really important, but I just like it. It's a nice little feature. Because obviously something that's frozen would have a hard time flying around, right? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm not informed as to how these creatures levitate exactly, but I imagine it won't work if they're fucking frozen. Will you come up here? Thank you, Your Majesty. Oh, God. That was an interesting guy. That happened. I don't actually remember the floor falling down there, but I guess you. No. Bullshit. Bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. No! Stop that. Dude, the vibration on that scene. So now the queen's like really pissed because we just killed the last of her brood. Which obviously she didn't want to happen, but joke's on her, it happened regardless. There we go. Only Metroid organism naturally capable of producing offspring. Blah blah blah, if you want to read it, here it goes. Basically, not every Metroid can become a Metroid Queen, that's only reserved for like special Metroids, and she can't move because she's so fat. Alright, here we go. Okay, amazing. So this is basically the entirety of the first phase, if I'm honest. The first phase is quite easy because she only does that and because she respawns so many power-ups. It's kind of a bother that you can't kind of, I guess, hit her while she is back spawning power-ups. But I mean, she's already spawning you power-ups, what more do you want? You want to deal damage as well, right? I do. You're gonna notice that she gets a good bit faster here, but she's right about to slow down again. Because when you get to her second phase, she slows down again. Like, not back to the beginning, but she does slow down a bit. And there we go, there's the second phase. The fight actually changes a slight bit. She now has set heights where she can snap instead of just snapping at you. Which is nice, and yeah, that's kind of the main thing that changed. You can now predict where she's going to snap, instead of just knowing that she's going to snap somewhere in your general area. Also, obviously, being that the arena is a bit smaller, you might sometimes have a harder time avoiding this shit. Alright. Hey, you can actually hit her with that, that's cool. If you're too slow in rolling through this area, then she's kind of gonna stab you with her nose. This area, same deal, except there's like no space in between up and down where she's snapping. So again, slightly more difficult, but ultimately irrelevant. Honestly, in my personal opinion, out of all the Metroid 2 versions, like all the most popular ones, as in the 3 that I let you choose, I feel like this Metroid Queen is the most fun one, but the one in AM2R in Samus Returns is definitely the most challenging one. So here the room opens up again, so we're going back to snapping at your location. And now her loot drops are replaced with this. I mean, I thought they were replaced with this, but apparently they aren't. So yeah, now she does that, which is nice, but whatever. We'll make do, right? That's bad. Are they shooting down? Those were supposed to be missiles there. You probably saw that. Ow. Alright, cool. That was the loot. Very unfortunate. Ooh, that's a lot of drops. Wasn't quite expecting that many, to be honest, but fine. Wow, this is going really bad. Oh shit. Now this is the final stage. I knocked myself right into that bomb. Amazing. If I die because of that, that's gonna be great. And boom. I didn't even phase out on the face cam this time. I'm impressed. There was an explosion, and now there's blood and guts everywhere. So I actually laid the power bomb too early because I was kind of scared of dying. The way that scene is supposed to go is either you shoot her with missiles, then she spits you against the wall, and rinse and repeat, or you roll into a ball and you roll into her stomach, and then you lay a power bomb, which is the traditional way you would kill these things. This sequence right here is a lot better in Samus Returns, I'm gonna be honest, but everything from this point is complete dog shit in Samus Returns. So basically the game's over. There's literally nothing we still need to do, we just have to go. Which is the point, like, this is the last Metroid in existence at the moment, so the point is that there's no enemies, very calm music, so you can basically reflect on the game, right? Which I obviously won't do, because for one, I'm trying to talk to you, and for two, I've played the game a lot of times already, and basically all of its versions, so I don't care. Basically, you're supposed to, like, reflect on what you've done, the fact that you just eradicated an entire species, except for this one. So what did they geniuses do in Samus Returns? They spammed the entire area with enemies. Like everywhere. Every few inches there's an enemy. Same thing actually, when I told you that there's like fewer and fewer enemies, right? When that in the nest itself nothing survives except Metroids. That was an intentional design decision in Metroid 2. Apparently the developers of Samus Returns didn't get the memo. Because they made more and harder enemies the closer you got to the Queen. Which was the exact opposite of the point. So I don't know how you fucked that up so badly, but yeah, that's really cool. We did walk past the secret area though, that's because I didn't want to walk back the entire way. If we would have gone back to the research camp when we got the power bombs, we could have accessed the hidden area, which... Let me know if you want to see that, but there's also a secret boss fight, but it's a really easy one. Yeah. Let me know if you want to see that. Other than that, the game's done. So... yeah, I'm gonna leave you to the credits. If you liked the game, if you liked the video, the content, the entire series, whatever, leave a like. If you didn't, there's a button for that as well. If you want to see more, like the next series, which is going to be Super Metroid, then in 2 days, feel free to smash that subscribe button. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you all again later. I fucked it up. Hope to see you all again next time. Later.